Now, to all them ladies looking for more than average members, um, darling, calm down. Take a chill pill because almost everyone in the world is average. To be honest with you, that girth is as important as the length for women, and this is why. Does size matter to women, or is there more to it? Look, if you were to ask women of the street what they prefer, no doubt they would pick the big one without batting an eyelid. It's what we've been told. We've always been told that bigger equals better and hotter and sexier. But then again, is that really true? Or have we been fed a myth that has been accepted as the truth? Does size really matter? Honestly, this has indeed been an age-long question. Until date, women still engage in this particular discussion. Does size really matter? Now, regardless of the fact that no penis is perfect, I will say the truth that size does matter to a degree, and anyone who says otherwise is just trying not to offend anyone, or they're just trying to be modest. I know I had said it doesn't matter in time past, but hey, that's when it's at least 3 to 4 inches long, because anything below that is quite difficult to defend. Also, keep in mind that a lot of men aren't willing to admit that their size concerns them, and that's one of the reasons why it is difficult for them to satisfy their ladies. Listen, we're not just calling out guys with little than average, joystick or little than average sizes here. No, the fact still remains that size can be an issue for every guy. Not because you're lacking or have too much, but because they don't know how to use your joysticks in accordance with its size. You might think that a big joystick is golden, but it can hurt a woman if it's not used the right way. So whether small or big, size matters because you have to prepare for any eventuality that requires you to adjust. You also have to know how, when, and where to move it. And in order for you to know how to please someone, you have to acknowledge that your size matters, no matter what it is. It matters. And moreover, ladies, we need to come to the realization that penis size does not affect stamina. There are guys with tiny members that have all the stamina in the world and they are super fertile. But on the flip side of the coin, you can equally have guys with huge members that don't have the stamina to last at least more than a few minutes. Basically, I think size has zero bearing on either of these things. So the question is, what is the average size of a male member? Now, I would say that there is no hard or fast rule about the size of a joystick. But to put your mind at ease, it's anywhere between 5 to 6 inches. That's definitely considered average. Anything less than that, you would just have a sympathetic smile from women. Anything more than that, and she will be in awe of you and hooked. Plus, a smile will directly be proportional to the length of your joystick. She might even gulp in nervousness too, but nevertheless, she will be thrilled at the sight of what it is that you're packing. And at this point, I would advise you not to let her down when it's time for you to prove your skills, because if your skills are whack, she'll be more disappointed that you have such a tool and you're just a waste of time. Now, to all them ladies looking for more than average members, darling, calm down. Take a chill pill because almost everyone in the world is average. And most girls are fine with average size members. All said and done, being average is okay. Okay? And I need to state that both length and girth matters when determining whether a joystick is big or not. And this is because the joystick comes long and thin, as well as short and girthy. So both would definitely feel very different from each other, and they have their own strength and they have their own weaknesses. But yet again, most women love men with considerable good length, good average length, but width must be wide enough. At least when you hold it in your hands can wrap around it, totally filled up. To be honest with you, that girth is as important as the length for women, and this is why. The wider the joystick is, the easier for each thrust to hit the G-spot. The fuller the woman feels when you thrust her, because the wall of her honey well is being brushed against, thereby heightening the sensation she gets from you thrusting. But if you don't have girth, what you need to do is wind your hips so that you can hit it from all corners while you're thrusting. Don't just thrust straight forward. Hit it from below, the side, up and down, and scatter everywhere. Scatter everywhere, all right? There is a video of how you should position, like you should wind your waist and just whip it from all corners. I'm going to link it up right here. Because honestly, the problem with this whole comparison of a big or a small member started with an adult movie. Because almost every guy that you see there seem to be packing a 10-inch joystick in their panties, in their trousers, and that gives everyone in the real world a skewed image of how big a joystick should be and what makes a joystick an average joystick. So you need to remember that these actors in X-rated movies are picked specifically for this hidden talents of theirs. Just as women with huge boobs were once the preferred actors of this mainstream adult movies, bigger members have been, preferred that same way. So you discover that bigger joysticks just take up more screen, more space, and it looks better in adult movies. So the next time that you drop your shorts in front of a woman, or you see a man drop his shorts in front of you, remember that what you saw in adult movies is not the standard. And more importantly, big may not always do the best job. But yet again, the question is, does a big joystick make a difference while having sex? Do girls like big members while having sex? Well, I would say that this is the most confusing part of all. Many girls are happy to snuggle with an average member kind of guy. Certain percentage of other girls prefer way bigger than the average, and it's okay. Some girls will tell you that a bigger joystick means better sex, while other girls just hate bigger members because it hurts them. So the real question is if the size of a man's member actually affects the outcome of sex. The truth is yes. The size does matter, but again, learning how to use your joystick to the best effect is more important, and your size does play a huge role in whether you will be able to help your woman orgasm better. There, I have to say it. I said it. Size definitely does matter to women. But then again, it's really not in a way that you think. If you have a considerably big joystick, you may have experienced this. Some girls love the way you feel inside of them. And some girls may actually cringe in pain and ask you to slow down or avoid penetrating fully. So what's happening here? The same member that brings pleasure to some girls could also hurt other girls. Isn't that weird? So why are we even talking about size? Because it depends on the woman who is receiving it. So before we end this conversation, we need to understand that every joystick is different. Just like every pair of breasts out there is different. You have the big ones, you have the small ones, you have the growers, you have the showers, you have the big head, you have the small head, you have the one that is just hung downwards, and you also have the one that is short, you have the one that stands almost upright, and so much more. The funny thing about these pythons is that it's not easy to accurately define a big one. And what really makes a joystick big in general? Is it just the length alone, or is it the girth? That's the circumference, the thickness of the joystick, or would it be both? Both length and girth matters when determining whether a joystick is big or not. This is because they could come long and thin as well as short and girthy, and both will feel different from each other and have their own strengths and weaknesses, like I said earlier. In all, let your stroke game be on point. Don't be blessed with length and width and your stroke game is zero. That's all I have to say today. So ladies, do you agree? Be honest. Which side are you on in this big versus small python debate? Does the size matter to you, or do you think it's about how, the man uses what he's packing? Hit us up right now in the comment section so that we have this discourse. And I'll be right back before you know it.